I'd like to call us to order this morning. Good morning. And the first thing we'll do is Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And now we'll have the roll call, please.
All right, Lorraine Benefield,
Here.
Neil Brennan.
Here.
Ken Jones.
Here.
Elaine Clyde.
Here.
April McLaughlin.
Here.
Ian Bramlow.
Here.
Shavonna Reed. Carol Spring.
Here.
Justin Strickland.
Here.
Thank you very much. And we do have a quorum. So we are going to welcome today to the LAB board. We have a new member, Justin Strickland. And I'm going to introduce Justin and just have him tell us a little bit about himself.
I guess this thing's on.
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. Not that I need it. Thank you, of course, everyone, for allowing me to serve with you. And thank you to all of the citizens who spoke highly of me. Some of you are here. I appreciate it. And for the library staff who spoke highly of me. I am truly honored. I'm humbled by that because when I think of myself, I just think of a young man who grew up in Old Homosassa as a mullet fisherman's son who became a deputy, and my parents, they raised us with humble beginnings but reinforced reading and education, and all of those things have paid dividends for myself and my family. And so when I think of that, I think of investment. That's the importance of investment in our community, investment in our future, and investment in our generations to come. So that's my life mission, is just to be somebody that my children can look up to be someone that hopefully other children can look up to, and just be a servant. My role as a pastor is I carry a Bible in one hand and a towel in another, metaphorically speaking, of course. And that is that I want, of course, to go around spreading good news to everyone and then be a servant on the other end. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for joining us and giving us your time. We appreciate that.
Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome. Okay. Next on the agenda, then, we have the nomination and appointment of the chair and vice chair.
April, sorry to interrupt. The oath of office for Justin.
Oh, the oath of office for Justin. I'm sorry. There you go. And Adam's going to do the oath of office.
Okay.
Went right by that. We already thought you were part of us.
What's that?
Is this okay?
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna try to put this up. All right. So Justin, I'm going to do the oath of office with you here. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Florida, and that you will faithfully perform the duties of the position of Citrus County Special Library District Advisory Board member according to the best of your skills and judgment? If so, answer I do.
I do.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So now it's official. Now we're going to get to nomination and appointment of chair and vice chair.
I nominate Justin Strickland.
I would like to nominate Neil Brennan for vice chair and April McLaughlin for the chair.
I nominate Justin Strickland for chair and Gwen for vice chair.
And who for vice chair? I'm sorry.
Right there, Gwyneth, right?
Edith?
Edith, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Okay. No.
Peltro is the last name, right? Yeah.
Okay, Justin, Edith, April, and Neil. Okay, so what we'll do is I guess we'll just take a show of hands of the vote. And do we have a second nomination or a second on either of the motions? Well, first of all, Lorraine's motion, do we have a second on that? On April and Neil?
I'll second.
Okay, Ken is seconding the motion, thank you. And then on Justin and Edith, do we have a second on that motion? Okay, so the motion before us then, because we've had a first and a second, is April McLaughlin for chair and Neil Brennan for vice chair. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Oh, I guess I'm the only one.
Okay, so we'll record it that way. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Elaine. Okay, thank you, everybody. We'll continue this year, moving along, and then, next year we can have the same process. And if somebody would like to step up at that time, let's talk about it. Let's move on and do the work that we have to do on the board. So thank you, everybody. Reading and approval of the minutes. Did everybody have a chance to look at them?
Yes.
Would somebody like to make a motion to accept them, or are there any changes?
I would like to make a change. Would you add to pattern after the Citizens Academy when you had the entry for the transit tour of the libraries?
Can you tell us where that is, Elaine, exactly?
It is, I think it's the second page. Yeah, page 2 toward the bottom there,
Okay, page
after Ken.
Okay.
What were the changes again?
I'd like you to make an entry to add the text to pattern after the Citizens Academies. Because we have wonderful Citizens Academies with the county and the sheriff's office. And I think that if the library had a tour similar, it would be amazing.
But was that an addition
Yeah.
to the minutes at
Yeah,
the
yes.
last meeting?
Yep, it's just a couple text.
Okay, all right, fine. Okay, we can do that then, thanks. Anything else? Any other additions or deletions? Okay, so we will make that addition. And then with that, do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I move we accept the minutes.
I need a second.
Second.
Second from Edith. Thank you very much. Minutes are accepted. And the correction will be made, the change. Okay, so now we have the open to the public portion of the meeting. If you want to speak, there's a green card, and you will have 3 minutes. Debbie's our timekeeper, and come on down. Here we go. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody.
Good
My
morning.
name's Steve Meckler from Lecanto. Basically, I'm here just to welcome Justin. When you heard him speak, that's who he is. I met him, I think it was 2 years ago, a bus trip up to Tallahassee, that Citrus Tallahassee Day thing. Didn't know him at all. What a personality. Just look. And then I met him again about a year or half a year later at a mutual friend's birthday party, which me and Justin had no idea that we were connected with the same people.
Mm-hmm.
But what a sincere, honest young man. I mean, Mom and Dad, what a great job you did. And can't go without saying Citrus County Angel there, Elaine. But thank you guys. I plan to get more involved because I've spread out all over the place. But I'll be here for the next meeting just to see how things go and all. So thank yous.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Good morning,
Good morning.
and welcome to the new member, Justin Strickland. I wanted to say, my name is John Labriola. I live in Inverness, and I also wanted to just say welcome to the new member, Pastor Justin Strickland. A lot of people were at the last library governing board meeting when the nominations came forth, and many people, as Pastor Strickland mentioned, spoke in favor of him, and Elaine and a couple of the other candidates who didn't quite make it. But I just wanted to say that, you know, we're counting on you, Justin, to be the voice for the large majority of Citrus County residents who come from a Christian viewpoint of the world, who don't want LGBT propaganda foisted upon the children and the general population. As you know, that's been a big issue over the last couple of years. But in addition to that, to also utilize our libraries to also bring forward, very positive, family-friendly speakers. Like, Kirk Cameron is out there speaking about his book to different libraries. Some have been unwelcoming, others have been welcoming. So I think it would be a great opportunity to see you as a voice for inviting him to our library system to present his book, and not just Kirk Cameron, but other Christian authors as well. And that's all part of free speech, right? But I just wanted to, since I haven't been to one of these meetings in such a long time, maybe do a little recap of, the last couple of years, because there's a lot of people in the audience. And, this started back in June of 2021 when there was a big LGBT pride display in a couple of the libraries here in Citrus County. And it started with just a small group of us coming to the Library Advisory Board meetings. And we were kind of completely ignored, pretty much, except for Elaine. And then we went to the county commission, and the county commission finally, after several months, decided to bring forth a motion. It was, at the time, Chairman Kitchen at the time, who brought forth a motion to say, okay, we need to have a policy to stop LGBT pride displays in the libraries. That failed by a 3-2 vote. And the reason it failed was because the majority of the county commission at that time said, well, that should be something for the Library Advisory Board to basically do and then recommend to us. So then we came before the Library Advisory Board again and brought a petition with over about 1,000 signatures, asking this board to recommend that policy to the county commission, and they've rejected it by a 7-2 vote. So that's why this issue has been going on and on and on, because it's kind of like a hot potato going back and forth. And when we come before this board, we're told, oh no, it's the county commission, and the county commission says, no, we need to hear a recommendation from here. So it actually is here, because the majority of the county commission, as it's made up right now, has said that you guys are the ones that they want to hear that
Excuse me, your time is
recommendation
up.
from. Okay, thank you. So we would love you to be that voice for us and bring a motion now that it's a new year to actually do that and recommend it back to the county commission. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's
morning.
Greg Hoing. I'm from Floral City, and I'd just like to welcome Pastor Strickland to the board. And I'd like to urge you to please fight and stand up against this woke ideology that's going on in our schools and libraries at this time. If anybody questions any of of this, I urge you to go to the website American College of Pediatrics, where there's numerous testimonies from professionals and victims of this, and the damage it does. And specifically, it's the transgender ideology. So please, as a citizen of Citrus County, I urge you to fight, all of you, to fight against this and protect our young children. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Doug Nicholson. I live right here in Crystal River. I live down by the primary school, and I mentioned at the commission meeting that we had that I was honored to be able to have been chosen to do an abstract painting for the library in honor of a wonderful lady who did so much for them. So the long and short of the story is that I created this painting. It hangs in the main entry. And it's titled, referring to the library and the opening of kids' minds, as the Spring of Awakenings. Now, the Spring of Awakenings are not anything to do with what I have considered and have seen going on in this country. There's a tremendous, tremendous movement to destroy our children and bring them into alignment with this philosophy that's going around, well backed, but I really am very appreciative we have Justin and his family behind him, and there are many behind us for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Carol Covell, and I am a Citrus County resident also. And I back what Doug said. God created man and woman, and that's what we need to believe, because someday he is coming back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Deborah Daniels, and I'm a retired Citrus County school teacher. I taught middle school here for almost 20 years in Crystal River. And I just want to remind you that the mission of a public library is to provide free and open access to a broad range of materials and resources and services to people of all ages and all backgrounds. That is the mission of our public school system. And as I said, I've been a middle school teacher here in Citrus County for many years, and I can positively say that students and their parents, their families, want our libraries to do just that, provide a free and open access for everyone, and provide that safe place where we can go in our community. We have a small radical group of extremists who continue to try to divide us and our community. They call our teachers and our librarians groomers without proof. Don't allow it. I remind you that they are not the majority here in our community. In America, we celebrate free speech and independent thinking. These are the ideals of our nation. Trying to limit or remove these freedoms is not patriotic. It's censorship. This small, radical group of extremists are trying to impose their political agenda on our community and our kids. Individual freedom allows parents to decide what's right for their child. But these extremists don't get to dictate what's right for other families. This is not about progressive or conservative. It's about doing what's right for our community and all our kids. And I do appreciate and thank you for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My name is Les Lovejoy, and I'm here to speak against the display. I just heard a woman use inflammatory marks. She said we're in the nation of the free. Isn't that free of different opinions? I don't appreciate being called an extremist because my views are different than hers. And her being a school teacher means virtually nothing to me. I appreciate her service if it's done with what the community wants. We as parents, when she says the majority does not favor this, I think she is totally wrong, because everybody I know, none of them stand for this. I have no problem with literature being inside a library. If I take my son or my grandson, son's 42, I think he can go himself, my grandson in there, and I'm looking for a particular thing, it's not sitting in the lobby. I've got to go and research it and find the material. If someone wants to go in and research this material, they're free to do so. They can do like the rest of us, go in and search it, not have it right dead in front of us when we walk through the front door and all of a sudden I'm answering questions that maybe I don't want to answer. That's my freedom. So I hope this committee understands the fact that we are not against the literature itself. We are in a nation of the free, but we are against it being put right where our children come through the front door, eye level, and Dad, Granddad, what is this? All right, that should be left to me. Not a school teacher. I don't remember her being part of my family. I don't remember her even asking me what my opinion was on my children, what the grandchildren are being taught. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Kathy Gates Inverness, another retired school teacher. Yeah, I hear the in the background. Love it. This is what teachers face every day now. Any worksheet they use is scrutinized. Got to make sure it is approved by Tallahassee. Can't have anything woke in it. They're left in tears. Their classroom libraries are covered, scrutinized, threatened with a felony if they read the wrong thing. You think 9,000 vacancies was a lot last August? It'll be double that at least this August. I have them crying to me, I can't do this anymore, and I don't blame them. Albert Einstein said the only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library, and it's true. Libraries level the playing field. As great democratic institutions, they serve people of every age, income level, location, ethnicity, and physical ability, and provide the full range of information resources needed to live, learn, govern, and work. We have freedom of religion in this country, and freedom from religion. My choice of religion is very personal to me. I will not impose my beliefs on you, and no one should be forcing their religious beliefs on the rest of us. We have capable, well-trained library personnel running our libraries. I'm sure there's many books in the library that I would not check out. I simply walk past them. Young children are accompanied by their parents to check out books. Everyone is screaming about parental rights. Well, you're in charge of what your child checks out. People are either screaming about the Black History programs in town or the books in the library. The rest of us are sick of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Come on down.
Hello, my name is Willard Steve Eller from Beverly Hills. And just thankful to be here today, wishing Justin well in his new position. Thank you so much for serving, Justin. And for all of you for serving. I just appreciate all of you very much. And so much of what is said, I could reiterate in some ways, but mostly that I support family values. I'm a Christian, therefore I support biblical values, but I don't wish to put anyone down. I think that what some have said as far as, forcing our beliefs on others, whatever, however you may say that, I think the big thing for us, or for me in particular, is indoctrination. And we don't want our children to be indoctrinated. Displays are set in order to turn the children's eyes, or anyone's eyes, toward a particular ideology. If you walk in the library and there is a display of, say, LGBT or any other subject, you're putting it there for a purpose, for a reason. And that's what I'm mostly against, I think, is those displays are, if you have information, books, put them on the shelf where they belong. That's my opinion. The children need to learn from their parents, and that's my philosophy. Like I said, I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I believe He is the truth. And I support that. And I think, in spite of what some have said, I think that is by far the opinion of most of our residents here in this community. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Barbara Brotherton, and I pretty much agree with the gentleman that just left here. I think schools really are for reading, writing, and arithmetic, that I don't think any type of, in elementary school anyway, should be anything sexual. That should be up to the parents to teach the child.
Thank you.
Yes, good morning. I am a mother and a grandmother, and we have rights, but they're called and considered negative rights, which is you cannot hijack the taxpayers' money. I can't say to you, I have the right to bear arms. You must use your tax money to give me those arms. I cannot say I have the right of free speech, go and rent me a building. We have negative rights. We cannot coerce other people to indulge us with our rights. The schools are there, and we have standards. We have state standards, and then we delegate down to local municipalities community standards of what we will and will not accept. The children, everyone knows how it has nosedived the educational system. These children are being pushed through the system. They can't read and write at proper levels. I mean, I have European friends, they're doing calculus in ninth grade, period. And here we are fighting about intruding on a family's right to teach sexuality the way they want to with their child. I have the right as a mother. I am the one that bore them, breastfed them, wiped their butts, cleaned up the vomit, helped the girls when they had their cycles, talked to the boys. I have the right to teach what I believe is acceptable sexuality to my child. And you don't have the right as a teacher to interfere with what I want to do with my child at home. You don't have the right to hijack taxpayer money or anything else. If you're a teacher, we give you our child so that you can teach them what the state and the community standards are.
Oh, face the microphone if you wouldn't mind. Thank you.
And sexuality has nothing to do with it. You can teach biology, but you have no right to interfere with sexuality. I want my son to look at women and think of them in a different way than what society says. I want him to do no harm. I want him to not take advantage. That is my right. You don't have the right to interrupt what I am doing with my child, nor my daughter. And because other people, I mean, there's a lot of people in the heterosexual movement that do some weird junk that I don't want you guys teaching that stuff either. And you don't have the right to. And just, they're not special. They have the same rights that we have. They can get married. They can adopt children. Why do we need a month? Where's the heterosexual month of this is how we come together sexually? I'm sick of it. Leave the kids alone. We have the right. When they fall to pieces, they're not going to the teacher's house. They're coming to us. And it's my responsibility, and I have taken care of that child. And you don't have the right to introduce this stuff to them. You're there to teach a curriculum. And like I said,
Excuse me, your time is up.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
What was your name? She
Thank
didn't
you.
announce your name.
Patty O'Connell.
Okay.
Thanks.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Peter Anastasio. I live in Homosassa. I have a 5-year-old daughter. I have biblical values. I believe in Jesus Christ. Certain things I don't agree with, and these are one of them. I think the parents supersede teachers as far as that type of teaching and the teacher's role. I don't think that you would want to display that. You could have another display that could be about Hitler and things like that, and it would be wrong, or the benefits of slavery or something like that. That would be wrong, and we could call it wrong. But I don't know, there's some type of push to try to destroy children and their youth and their innocence. And I think that's wrong. As far as the person that quoted Albert Einstein took down his most prestigious award in his room and put up a plaque of a missionary that built a hospital that served lepers in Africa, you know, to see that, to remind himself what has real value. And you're going to teach kids, I think, the way that they should go. And if you lead them into indecency, which is what that type of lifestyle is, in my opinion, you will have consequences. You know, you could go and say violence is good. Some people have the freedom of speech to say that, but it's not good. We know violence isn't good, so you wouldn't lead them down that path, just like you wouldn't lead them down that path of sexual immorality. You know, that's all I really have to say, and I hope you guys make the right decisions.
Thank you.
You know, thank you.
I have come to some of these meetings before. My name is Lala Sanders. And you sit in the back and you go, what am I going to say? What am I, you know, do I get up 7 o'clock in the morning to drag yourself, you know, whatever. But when you sit here, you stop and think about what is really happening here. The problem we have with disagreements are because we have removed God and replaced him with liberal and self-satisfying needs. Self-satisfying needs. If we continue to push the LGBT or anything displaced like that, what are we selling and why? Why? When you know, I went to, there was a gentleman one time that said, you put displaced up because you want to sell something. Why do we want to sell self-satisfying things to our children? Anyway, that's about all I have to say, and I want to welcome Justin here, and Elaine, thank you that you're still here, and some of the body language up here needs to just really put a smile on it and just realize why us as people, why we're here. We're here to serve God, follow his rules the best that we can. We're all sinners saved by grace. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, guys. Good morning. How are you? My name is Margie Eller, and I am from Beverly Hills. I just want to welcome Justin to your board, and I want to thank all of you for your service and our teachers even, because I know that teaching is a very hard thing. But I just want to talk to you for a minute and tell you that I was raised in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm pretty much a Florida girl. And I remember as a child going to the library every week. I would go, and I loved the library, and I would take home a stack of books and read them, and then come back the next week and get another stack. And that went on for years, and that's what we did, you know, when I was a kid. That was our entertainment, and we were, of course, out all day playing also. But I am a grandmother. I have 5, 6, 7 grandchildren. 6 are granddaughters, and they range from age 4 to 24. I love those kids so much, and I want them to enjoy the same things that I did, and I want it to be safe for them. I don't want to take away rights from anyone else, but we're just asking for those books to be not in a display, but where people can find them if they want to. And we want a safe place for our children. We don't want the agenda to be the LBGT or any agenda. We just want our kids to be able to come to the library without displays that are adverse, and to be able to search and read. And my granddaughters, my grandchildren, they do all read and go to the library. And so that's what I'm asking for you. We don't want to take rights from anyone, but we want our rights also. And I thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good morning. My name is Mike O'Connell. I'm from Floral City, and I want to discuss something very sobering, and that's suicide. And I'm going to ask a rhetorical question. How many people on this board are in favor of suicide among teenagers? I'm not seeing any responses, but I'm sure that you're all against it. At least I have reason to believe you are. Except for the fact that some on this board are peddling the LGBTQ community's information on these displays, which takes a child, if a child walks in, sees that display, says, oh, look at that, it looks like an interesting book, I think I'll check it out. And then if they get into that alternate lifestyle, the chance that they commit suicide is 5 times greater. Now, there's already, I think, a 30% suicide attempt rate in this country. So by leading them into this lifestyle, you're upping the possibility that these children die in some closet, cowering, while the blood drains from their wrists or while they overdose, because the lifestyle destroys them. We all know this. Institutes say it. I have information, this is NBC News from April 20th, 21. Suicide rates among young people have been on the rise in recent years, according to the CDC. But gay and bisexual youths are almost 5 times as likely to have attempted suicide as their straight peers. And they base their research from the Williams Institute, which is a think tank associated with the University of Southern California. Not a conservative think tank. Okay, so I'm going to dub the display SAD. That's an acronym for Suicide Advocacy Display. So anyone in favor of that display, of keeping that display, is SAD. They're in favor of leading children down the path of destruction and suicide. And I'm pretty certain that none of you want this. There could be legal liabilities as well. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. Anybody else like to speak? Come on down.
Hi, my name is Mike, and I'm from Floral City. I think all the reasons that have been stated already why LGBTQ material should be kept out of the hands of children. All I wanted to say is that I think the pastor is in the perfect position to do such. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's his last name?
Oh, I'm sorry, did you state your name? Oh, she has it on the card, I guess. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm Doug Fornson from Floral City. I just wanted to encourage you to promote family values in the library. I appreciate so much that you've got Pastor Strickland on the board now. I know he's got a background in biblical history. You know what happens to a nation and a people and a community when some of this explicit sexual material is, actually just pushed on people. I understand that, you can say that there's a part of our community that is homosexual or transsexual or some of these other areas, but it's a tiny minority. Promote the family values as much as we can. We also have actually a very high incidence of drug use in our community. And I think we would all be horrified if we started displaying in the library books on how to manufacture meth and crack cocaine and, and things like that. It goes for the mind, the same thing that we're doing here. You're going for the mind of minors that are not fully developed. They're not fully aware of some of the things that can happen. Their judgment capabilities are just not there. So as much as you can, promote the family values in this community. Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? So I guess that wraps up our portion of the open to the public speaking and comments. So I would just like to comment and say again that there is no drag queen story hour in Citrus County Public Library, nor will there ever be. This is a public library. There seems to be a little bit of confusion between school library and public library, which are two completely different organizations. The library is interested in protecting children. Children can only check out a book with a parent. Children cannot be in the library alone at any time. They have to be there with a parent. I don't know if you've ever been to the story time that we have with the children's librarians in any of the libraries, but I have. They're wonderful. There's no pushing of anybody's agenda. It's pretty much, the hungry caterpillar and things like that. I invite you to go to any of the programs at the library. We just had a DAR program, which is promoting American values. Our librarians are county employees. They're trained professionals. Citrus County is basically a conservative county, as you can tell by our county commissioners and board. And everyone in our libraries is an employee of those commissioners. We don't groom. We are not radicals. The fact that we are all called names on the internet and here is rather offensive. However, it's part of free speech. So, how do we go with that? We want to restrict some free speech. We don't want to restrict some free speech. We've been called names like radicals, groomers, other things like that. You basically don't know where our sentiments lie, and you shouldn't know because we're on this board, and all we're interested in is promotion of the library and the good of the citizens of Citrus County. We'll always protect children. Our librarians are trained if there is a situation where a child is in some sort of difficulty. They have been trained and know what to do and who to call. But that's about all I wanted to say about it. I just wanted to say that we have not ignored all the comments and the wishes of all of the people that have spoken over the past 2 years. We do not have a full month of LGBTQ displays any longer. They were anything that's in the library, any materials that we have materials on everything that you could possibly think of because it's a public library. We're not promoting anything that we have in the library. It's just there. People have a lot of interest. Even if you're not promoting something, sometimes you want to find out about what somebody else is thinking or what somebody else was saying, and the library is the place to go for that. So again, it's about free speech of everybody in Citrus County. We're not discounting anyone's beliefs. That's your own personal opinion, as it is ours. It's just that I'd like to say we would prefer not to be called names. That's personal, and this is not personal. This is about Citrus County, about the children of Citrus County, the residents of Citrus County, and the county employees, the librarians, and the people that work there. And we appreciate you guys coming out so early and making your comments. Thank you.
Okay. April, can I just check something with Adam here, just to let everybody, we do have a process in place for anybody that has a complaint with any book or any portion of the library. And it's not, and we love having you here, and please, this is open and we love your opinion, but there is a process and it goes to Adam. There's a form. We welcome you to fill out that form. He takes every complaint very, very seriously, and we'll get back with you. And it's a thing that we have put in place, and we have told Adam, please go by this form. This makes sure that everybody is treated fairly, and he has done this and will do this.
Yeah, the process has been worked and reworked over the past 2 years, and it has been gone through legal. It's been approved, and it's a process that we would like to use if anyone does have a complaint or an issue with any of the material. So we'd appreciate that you take the opportunity to use that process. Thank you.
Madam Chair, would it be appropriate for me to address some of the things at
Absolutely.
this time? Okay, thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for all of your kind comments and your trust in me. I promise you, your trust is greater than my wife's trust. No, I'm just kidding. There's a couple things that were said, and I want you to know that I hear all of you. As I serve here on this board, I am a Christian conservative. I do not shy away from that. I am, I vote Republican for most of the part. However, I do represent every citizen in this county. And what I mean that is I'm going to honor every citizen in whatever respect that is. I do thank the school teachers who spoke. I just want to echo what Madam Chair said, is that that's not, we have nothing to do with the school system, thank God. As you see by the representation of my children in the attire that they wore, you understand probably what my feelings and intentions on that. I do thank Member Clyde for your nomination. I do thank you for that, and I'm a leader at heart. However, I don't feel that I am ready for that at this moment. Thank you so much for believing in me. I do believe Edith is. However, thank you. And I'm going to support this board, and I'm going to work well with this board. When I make every decision that I make, I want you to know I look at my couch. A wise man taught me that a long time ago. I look at my couch, and I look at who sits on that couch. And that is the decisions I make. I make based upon who sits on that couch. Those are the people that are the closest. Those are the people that I report to the most. And those are the people that, when it all counts, I need to make sure I have in my corner. And I can tell you for a fact, as a father of 3 very young children, you better believe I'm going to fight to make sure that places like libraries are safe for them. You better believe that I'm going to make sure that their environments are safe. I mean, I spend a lot of money to make sure that their environments are safe. And so what I want you to know is my heart and my intention is to do the goodwill of not only the people, but God whom I serve. I do want to say this. This is something that I feel like I need to say, is that I understand that there's a legitimate concern with these displays. I have concerns with these displays. I understand that there were some things that were done in probably poor taste, but also it was kind of a mistake. And I don't know everyone within the library system. I don't know them personally. However, I know some, and those whom I know to be good and honorable people who just want to serve the community. And so what I'm saying, and I want you to know that the concerns you speak, the majority of you, some of you I disagree wholeheartedly with, but the concerns that the majority of you spoke with, I echo the same sentiment, absolutely the same sentiment. However, I do want to keep within the boundaries. Let's keep the wheels between the lines. And That is that the majority of these employees who work for the Citrus County Library, and I would say, I don't know all of them, but I doubt very seriously they got serial killers working there. They're good people, and let's remember that. And they're people just like you and I, and more importantly, they are made and fashioned in the image of God, just like you and I are. So let's try to remember that when we address the board, and let's try to remember that when we address the people who are represented by this board. I do want you to know this. I do feel like we should think, or we need to have a discussion about what we're going to do about policies of displays and so on. I'm very much an advocate of free speech. Free speech is what brought us here, but I'm also an advocate of this. I know that free speech also, you can't yell fire in a crowded room. So there are things that need to be protected. And what I am reminded of, and I remember, I don't remember which one of it, whether it was Miss Daniels or Miss Gates, whom thank you for your time. One of you spoke about the freedom from religion, freedom of religion, and I understand where you're coming from there, as in, yes, that is a beauty that we get to experience here in the United States of America. But I'm also reminded that Alec de Tocqueville, when he visited the United States after the failure of the French Revolution, he was wondering and pondering, why did a democracy work in the United States when it did not work in France? And what he found was that it was overwhelmingly, he found a virtuous and religious people everywhere he went. And that freedom can only be maintained when a people are virtuous and religious. And I know that doesn't sit well with a lot of people, but those are just the truths and the beauties that a lot of the morals that the morals that we enjoy as a free society was rooted by something. And so I just want to remind you of that when we get up here and we talk about who we are and all of those things, and when I speak on a Sunday morning or a Wednesday evening, I'm not imposing my beliefs on anybody. I'm trying to share the good news that I have found with the rest of the world. So that being said, Mr. Labriola, I appreciate your concerns, and certainly Kirk Cameron, he's one of my favorites. I do understand, and I've talked with Director Chang. He and I have had conversations, as well as some of the other managers within the library, and I've been actively concerned with what we can do. It's not just as easy as making a policy about displays. There are legal ramifications, as which Doug, I believe you spoke of, or someone spoke about legality. Maybe it was Mike back there. We need to be articulate, and we need to craft things in an intelligent way to which we don't put the library staff in danger. We don't put the citizens of this county in danger. And honestly, I want to be able to look my children in the eye and know I made the right decision. So I am not prepared to make a motion to change any policies or anything like that at this time. And my reasons are, to my knowledge, there is no sense of urgency currently, because there will be no displays. There are no displays going to be made. I do encourage you all, if you see anything or you think of anything that's out of line, you can get a hold of me. I'm not hard to find. However, at this time, I think the main approach is I want to encourage our board members. I want to thank all of them for toughing it out for the last couple years. I mean, I know that cannot be easy. And I want to say thank you to all of the library staff for toughing it out. And then I want to say thank you to all of the citizens for being so passionate and not allowing the community that I've enjoyed and my family's enjoyed since the 1830s to go by the wayside. Thank you. I want you to know that. Thank you. And you have my pledge that my eyes will be on this. I promise you that. I am a man of my word. That man right there, my father, taught me that the only thing I have is my word. He's sitting right here on the front row. That the only thing I had is my word. And I'm telling you that you have my word, that my eyes will be on this. I promise you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And a lot of what you said is a lot of what the board feels as well. We've just been toughing it out, and we have our eyes on it. And we've, after 2 years ago, we have crafted new policies. They've gone through the legal process, the county commissioner process, and we're pretty confident with where we are now that nothing untoward is happening. There's a process for the library itself internally to go through for the displays. And I think that we're in a good place right now. So, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Next would be Adam and the director's report.
Congratulations, Adam, for making director.
Oh, thank you,
God
Elaine.
bless you.
Yes. So, as I'm sure you all are aware, Eric Head is no longer Library Services Director. He's in the audience, but he has been promoted to Community Services Director. So we're very excited for Eric and happy that he is in that new position and helping our county in a much broader sense. But he still does have library services under him as part of Community Services. And I am the new Library Services Director. So I'm very excited to continue working with the library and work with you all and just kind of keep moving things forward.
Adam, why don't you give a little background for the people that don't know
Sure.
you as well? Because sometimes if you're in Central Ridge, maybe everybody doesn't know.
Sure. So as far as working in libraries, I've been in various libraries for just over 10 years. 8 of those past years, just over 8.5, have been with the Citrus County Library System. I've worked in just about all of our libraries, starting as a instructional research librarian, teaching different classes, and kind of progressively moving up through different leadership positions, whether it's supervisor, region manager, and now director. As far as kind of where I've grown up, I grew up here in Citrus County, went through all of the school system here, a graduate of Citrus High School. I have a master's in library information science, as well as a master's in business administration. And just one of the things I'm most excited about is being able to continue the work that I've been doing, working in the library system, just on a much kind of broader level as well. Just, again, moving things forward and just helping promote and kind of build staffing and raise more awareness for our libraries.
And you also have a young son.
I do. I have two children. I have a son and a daughter, who's 6 and 4. So very much a busy parent as well.
Thank you, and we are very happy that you have joined us.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
A few other things on staffing as far as director's report.
Great. Go for it.
So we have a vacancy now because I've moved from region manager. We have an opening for region manager. We have just hired a couple new staff. Letha Marie Carter, she is now our new library aide in Crystal River, the Coastal Region branch. We are getting ready to, they've selected a candidate for the Lakes Region branch as a new library aide. We're getting ready to go through the process with her. And we do have one staff member that is moving on to work in Tallahassee. She is, I remember Olivia Sperry, she worked in our materials management department. So a little bit of change there as well.
Okay. And I guess you've posted and you're interviewing.
Yes, so we haven't posted a couple of those positions, but as with our timeline, we are going to post and interview.
Great, thank you.
Yes, I have two other things to just tell you about project-wise. We're still working on our PC management system, which was the print copy scan system. Still working on that, getting that going. It's going to be several months away, but we are working on developing that. If any of you are near the Central Ridge branch in the next couple weeks, there's going to be a little bit of noise, a little bit of movement, shifting things around, because that branch is scheduled on the back end, kind of the materials management side, to get a new flooring put in. So there'll be new flooring there, so it will be a little bit noisy over the next week or so. And then there'll be a lot of just desks and things that have to be moved out. So just, if you happen to be in the area, you may notice that.
Okay.
And then the last thing I want to talk about is another project that, prior to being director, I was the youth services manager and region manager. One of the projects that we're just getting to wrap up that I'm very excited about is a new kind of kit that we're going to be offering for 3rd to 5th graders. So this kit is going to be available in probably the early part of March, first or second week. But we have what are called STEM Discovery Kits. And we have 17 of these kits, and they're all themed specifically on some STEM topic, whether that's engineering, it's rockets, it's just a variety of different things like that. But they're all geared towards 3rd to 5th graders. Each one contains an activity. So we've got one on bridges. This one has how to construct a bridge with different blocks, has a DVD in it, as well as a book and different activities on kind of that STEM activity.
Wow.
So really excited about these.
And how many of those go in each of the libraries?
Each library is going to have between 3 and 4 of them. We've got 17 total, but I have a couple here as examples if anybody would like to see them.
Yes, definitely.
They're just another kind of kit that we've started to develop and try to kind of broaden what is available, especially for our younger audience, especially that 3rd to 5th age range.
That's great. I love those. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
It?
That's it.
Okay. Regional manager, that would be Debbie.
Yes. The one and only one right now.
Yes. So hit it all. Give it to
Well,
us.
let's share some with Taylor and Adam too. So this past Sunday was a great day. The library partnered and with many community members for the African American Read-In that was held at CF. It's an event that honors African American authors, and we had students from the schools sing and read, and there was over 300 in attendance. So that was a great event. Also, we have a volunteer appreciation coming up on April 22nd. All the board should have gotten an invitation. That's always a great event to honor our volunteers who do so much for the library system. That will be held at the Community Center in Beverly Hills. You also have your bookmark there, so because every volunteer gets honored for a book, so they'll get a book in their name that rotates through the libraries. Last thing is First Library. Once again, I have a reading coming up March 8th. If anyone is interested in reading The Little Engine That Could, I do have some spots available, so just see me on that. It's a great program that the library partners with the Education Foundation with. For those of you that don't know, since there are so many people that aren't regularly here, many of these people read. What the Education Foundation does is start a first library for every pre-K and K student. So that's our at-home library. So every year, Education Foundation purchases 4 books, and each student will get a book. And then we have what we call celebrity readers that go to the class and read that book. So it's really, it's heartwarming when you see those kids and you read to the whole class and they just want to hug on you and as you read their book. So if anyone's interested in reading, let me know. Also, this Thursday, if no one's doing anything, El Trusa is having Bunko for Books for the First Library program. So if you're interested in that, let me know.
Thanks, Deb. A lot going on. Bunko for Books is a lot of fun. And also the reading, if you've never done it, it only takes about a half an hour because the book is like 10 pages. And you can, there's time slots, you can choose your time slot. It's something really worthwhile. And the kids just go crazy over it. It's just a cute program. And it's worthwhile. It's really a lot. You get more from it than they do. It's just an amazing program.
Madam Chair, I want to say they love that attention. I've done
Absolutely.
it multiple times and had the pleasure to go into our local elementary schools and read to them. And those kids, matter of fact, I ended up doing the hippo dance whenever I'm not even sure what that is, but by the time I left, just to fill the hour, but it was a lot of fun.
It's amazing. And it doesn't take a lot of time. It's just a half hour or 45 minutes of your time. It's an amazing program.
Do you want to show us the hippo dance?
Demonstration?
I have a suit that I may or may not be able to fit in.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, you guys. Taylor?
All right, y'all, buckle in. I've got a lot of things to cover this morning, okay?
Okay.
Let me pull up my notes. All right, so one of the first things that you will have in the little handouts that I gave you is a reading tree flyer. This is the third year that we have promoted this campaign in our libraries. The basis of the reading tree started in 2021 as our library staff were brainstorming what to do in lieu of being able to host our annual Love Your Library event that this board would produce for the 10 years leading up to when COVID began. So with that brainstorming process, we came up with a way to add new materials and books to our collection. And so anyone who makes a monetary donation in $15, $20, or $25 can add a book to our collection. And that book, you can then add in a placard. And so much to the sadness of the materials management team, I make special requests of the labels, and all of you get special labels if you make a donation, and it could say donated by, donated in honor of, or donated in memory of. As of this morning, I believe we are just shy of 70% of our goal. And so overall, that is about 350 new books that will be able to be added to our collection. Today, as February 28th, is the last day to be able to donate. So you all have those little bookmarks there. Donations can be made at any of the branches until 7 o'clock tonight, or by scanning the QR code that is on the bookmark. So that was the first thing. Another little bookmark that you have shows a girl reading a book. So that is the first of 4 digital book clubs that is offered through Libby. So a digital book club is very simply a book that we are able to provide through Libby, our Overdrive app, online reading app, that you can check out within a 2-week time frame, which starts tomorrow, March 1st, and runs through March 15th. So simultaneous use means that every single one of you could check out a copy of this book. Everybody in the room could. And there are still plenty of copies available for anyone else that would like to check out. So it is run through the Overdrive company. This particular campaign is called Together We Read. And so it's just an encouragement to read something that may be outside your regular genre of choice. I believe this one is a psychological thriller. So if Criminal Minds is your particular show of choice, this could probably be right up your alley. Okay. Upcoming outreach events. So we have a large outreach coming up this weekend. We will be at the Strawberry Festival, both Saturday and Sunday. We have staff members who love going out and getting to interact with our community. So if any of you have been to our Floral City branch, you will see a couple of our Floral City staff members out there. And at this particular outreach, we do what is called a story walk. So if you haven't experienced a story walk yet, we work with our youth librarians to essentially deconstruct, to rebuild a book. And so what we have done is deconstructed 5 different books. So one book will be the story that is on display during the story walk, and parents are able to walk through that book, and they are prompted with questions and are able to learn ways to interact with their child while they're reading. And so they get to read through that book, and then at the end they stop back by our tent and they get an activity that relates back to that book that they can do when they get home. I believe we will be having the strawberry book there. We got real creative and found a book about strawberries to take to Strawberry Festival. And in this particular book, they have to disguise the strawberry to save it from the big hungry bear. And so the activity that the kiddos will get to take home is a paper strawberry that they get to then disguise so that the bear won't eat it. So that is just one of the things that they will be able to do at the outreach event if they are able to make it to Strawberry Festival. Another bookmark that you have on your table is our spring mega sale. I know it is a highly anticipated book sale event for many of you. And so that book sale is happening in just about a week and a half. Opening night is March the 10th. That is a Friday night, and it runs Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Friday night, there is a $5 donation at the door for entrance. Some people question why they would do that. I say because then you get the best selection of the new books that are there. If you come on Saturday, that new release that you thought could have been donated, that you could purchase, may not be there because people come in and they wait in line for hours on Friday to come in the doors because it is quite a popular event. So our friends of the library will be working their little fingers to the bone for these next couple of weeks and final preparations for that sale. A second sale that is happening, and I'm so sorry, I do not have the bookmark for that one, but you can find all of the information on our website and on their Facebook page, is the Homosassa Friends will be hosting their spring book sale, and that will be on Thursday, March 30th, Friday, March 31st, and Saturday, March 1st, and that is hosted at the Homosassa branch. And their Facebook page will have all of the information and updates, and as soon as that mega sale ends, all of that information will be on our website as well. And because we will be mid-National Library Week at our next meeting, I thought I would go ahead and give you a quick little recap. The theme for National Library Week this year is There's More to the Story. And so the idea behind that theme is to show that our libraries are more than books, that we have things such as STEM kits. We have our compassionate care kits. We offer technology classes and programming. We partner with different organizations across the county to provide programming such as our Master Gardener seminars. We work with the SETS Foundation to come in and provide different STEM programs throughout the year. There is 3 this month in March, 3. It's quite the number between our branches, but we are very excited for this theme. And so National Library Week this year is the last full week of April. So I would highly encourage any of you to come out to our branches, participate in the programs. Our staff go above and beyond their normal, amazing abilities to do programming and produce that to showcase everything that our libraries have to offer. And I also believe, if I'm not mistaken, there could be a presentation on the ancient history of libraries. We've got some history majors that have recently been hired within our library system and have realized that our county is obsessed with history, between Heritage Hour that's happening at Floral City and our History Hour programs that focus on American battles and wars. Y'all are voracious when it comes to history. So we are trying to create programming that will allow you to be able to recognize that. And then my last thing on programming is our summer reading program. It is coming up. We have a countdown currently on our website. We are in the 90s when it comes to days away. But I believe last week we hit day number 99 in our countdown. So summer reading will kick off on June the 1st. Adam, in his previous role as the region manager, was overseeing our youth team. And so he has been working with them for probably since October. To start the planning and the process for that. Our theme for this summer is All Together Now, with a focus on kindness, friendship, and community. And so that is a national theme, and there will be libraries across the country who use that same theme throughout the summer. And so we are really putting a huge focus on partnerships and different things that will bring community-minded programming to the forefront for our kids. So we are actually also working in partnership with the University of Florida Extension Office. So if you are familiar with the Extension Office, it's right over there. You passed it on your way in this morning. And they will be coming into 2 of our branches to do programming for 5th through 8th graders for 5 weeks this summer. That focuses on different things such as gardening, cooking with your homegrown herbs, and I believe there was something about salsa. So I may have to stop in for that program in the morning. Debbie will put it on our calendar. Oh, yes. Also, if any of you were concerned about having food at the volunteer appreciation breakfast, Debbie is in charge of the food, so y'all will be eating well that morning. Okay?
Okay.
All right, the very last thing I have to go over with you is the upcoming book displays for April, May, and June. So you have those handouts in front of you. So this is just a brief overview for you guys in regards to what our staff will be working on in the coming quarter. So we put a lot of focus in April on our volunteers. It is that month of April has National Volunteer Appreciation Week. So we do lots of book displays that showcase the books that we have purchased in honor of our volunteers throughout the years. And so those books are there. And then we also will have lots of displays about National Library Week. And so those book displays can have about any book on there, as long as it is talking about kind of services and different things, or just any books that celebrate libraries in general. It's also Money Smart Week, and so there will be financial literacy displays up in some of our branches as well. And Poetry Month in April. April's a busy month. April is a very busy month. So there will be some different programs and displays that talk about poetry as well. Okay, and then we'll move on to May. So some of our branches will be starting to promote for our summer reading during the month of May to start gaining that excitement to get people ready to register and come in for summer reading. There is also Star Wars Day is May the 4th, so a couple of our branches will be having Star Wars displays for the month. Sci-fi is a very popular topic of choice in our readers. There's also Children's Book Week, and so some of those children books classics will be on display in our youth rooms as well. So those books that you probably grew up loving, that you read to your kids and have read to grandkids, we'll have those out on display. May is Mother's Day, so books about mothers and moms and anything that encompasses motherhood will also be on display. Oh, and it's Hurricane Safety Week. So we will be starting our preparations for hurricane safety that week, and we work with many of our community partners to provide different to provide a centralized location where they can hand out preparedness information. So we work with the Chronicle to put out their yearly guides. We work with the Sheriff's Department and the Emergency Operations Center to put out their yearly guides. We usually get a guide from Bay News 9, and then we get different brochures and things from FEMA to help with hurricane preparedness. And those go out on June 1st officially, so we will move into June. And so every library branch will have up a hurricane preparedness that we have lovingly dubbed the Summer Safety Stations, because we also focus on other things such as the dangers of lightning storms and thunderstorms. You know, those things that we have to be aware of in Florida. So the bulk of our programming and displays in June relates back to our summer reading program and that All Together Now theme. We work really, really hard with our full staff, not just our youth librarians, to ensure that summer reading encompasses the entire building. We want our families, we want all of our patrons, no matter their age, to know that while we put a lot of focus on our kids over the summer and bringing them into the libraries to help combat that summer slide, we also are working to just get everyone involved in what we're doing in the summer. And then it's also Flag Day on June the 14th. And so every year we work with the DAR, and they come in and they put up tables in all of our branches, and they talk about the history of the flag and why we have Flag Day and all sorts of lovely things about American history. Okay, I think that was everything for you guys. I know that was a lot today, but you are all set. And if you, as always, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to grab me at the end or right now.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Would a regional manager be a step up for you, or are you going to be like Eric's secretary?
Well, I am not moving with Eric into community services. He has a staff already over there, and I love what I do, and being with and overseeing the branches is very operational. And I like being able to get out and hang with community members and just talk about how much we love our libraries. So I'm not as tied to the desk as Debbie is when I get to do this.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we like that you're out and about. You do good things. Thank you. That's great. And she mentioned history. If you have not been to some of the history programs that they provide, amazing. I went to in November for Veterans Day. They had a history program at Homosassa that was spellbinding. It was like you could hear a pin drop in there. The guy was so interesting, so knowledgeable. It was amazing. So there's a lot of really good stuff going on. So go to what you can because it's all good. Okay. Old business. I think we kind of covered everything during the comments. And then new business as well. Board member updates. Let's start with Elaine. Anything new that you want to tell us about?
I don't know if I want to share it yet. I think I might just wait.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Very good. How about Carol?
No, but I too went to a lecture at the Floral City Library and enjoyed walking around, but learning about the train wrecks that happened right down the street. So, again, Taylor's right. There must have been 100 people there. It was standing room only.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So, nice group of people.
Good programs going on at our libraries. Ken? Nothing for Ken. How about Neil?
I'm good.
I have nothing either.
Edith?
I would just like to invite those of you that have children in, well, really teenagers in high school. I believe postcards have been sent out for 11th and 12th graders to sign up with their guidance counselors to come to our College of Central Florida Citrus Campus all-day preview day. Basically, they'll cover everything from how to fill out the application to financial aid and all of that stuff. And the school system will actually bus the students from their school to CF during their assigned times. And that will come up on March 9th. And I believe the tours will be running from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's all I have.
Nice program. Thanks. Justin, anything to add?
I think I've said enough for today. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, everyone, again.
Okay. And Adam, anything to add? No?
Nothing to add.
Okay. So I think that's it for us. The next meeting will be April 25th at 8 a.m. here in this building in the same spot. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Edith. And we'll see you on April 25th. Thank you.